I cooked 4 nights a week. Ooh. Girl, can I be a part of that family, please? Ranking Am I the Asshole confessions on Reddit. This is my first video ever. Please be kind to me. This is my first time. Am I the asshole for leaving my mom at the airport with no ticket and no plan? Ooh. Some background, my mom was abusive growing up. It got bad enough at 12 that I left home through the courts and moved back in with my dad. On the paperwork under name of child, she wrote something like, I have no son. I've carried that with me ever since. That's sad. That was when he was 12 though, so let's actually finish reading it. He wanted to reconnect. Reconnecting wasn't easy. He asked if she ever reflected on the abuse and she told him no, he was an adult and needed to let it go already. I realized any forgiveness would be one-sided. If I wanted peace, it was on me. Oh, I mean, I wouldn't even have tried to rekindle. I'm not even gonna lie, I wouldn't even have tried. Props to you for trying to rekindle, because personally, I would have been like, you're going to hell, and I would have left it at that. I wouldn't even like, you're out of my life, girl, bye. Last summer, I invited her to my city to see a band she's been loving since I was young. The plan was simple. She'd arrive on Wednesday, we'd go to the concert on Thursday, and then she'd fly out to see my sisters on Friday, and I'd leave early Saturday for my own trip. She agreed. When she arrived, she mentioned that she'd only bought a one-way ticket, and we booked the other flight later. When people say that they're going to do stuff later, I automatically assume that they're not going to do it. That made me uneasy, and I reminded her several times to make sure it was booked. I was in the clear in my wording and tone that I didn't want anyone staying in my house while I was gone. Friday came, the concert was fine, and then she told me that she hadn't bought a plane ticket, and now with prices having gone up, she planned to stay a few extra days while I was away. Even if you weren't away though, you already told her to book the flight. She said that she would, she didn't. She didn't follow through on her word. Personally, just lying in itself to me, it's a principle to me. You said that you would book the flight and then you didn't, and now you're not going to because the prices are too much. Get going now. I told her I'm leaving at 5 a.m. tomorrow. You need to get on that plane. I even offered to cover the extra cost. Doing too much. I would not. She's your mom. No. She refused and invited herself to stay at my place when I said clearly that I wasn't comfortable with anyone staying in my home while I wasn't there. Thank you for being direct. You should have been like that from the start. I'm not even gonna lie. Oof. The abuse mixed in with that is just like, I would have cussed her clean out. The argument escalated. She said, fine, take me to the airport. I think she expected me to cave. I didn't. I packed the car, grabbed my daughter, and drove her to the airport in silence. Okay, I think he has a kid. When we arrived, it felt like a standoff, like she was waiting for me to say, never mind, don't go. I didn't. I took her bag out, set it on the curb, and told her, if you can't find a ticket, let me know. I can help you pay for a hotel. Then I left. He didn't actually leave her in the airport stranded. She just didn't have a ticket or a plan, but that was on her. She should have had the plan and the ticket because he told her to. So I don't think he's an asshole. Even if he hadn't told her prior to get a plane ticket or anything like that, he abused him whenever he was 12. And she never apologized. She said that he was grown and he needs to let it go. I wouldn't even have
I remember thinking, I'm about to beat this bitch up.
I wouldn't have even tried to rekindle that. Honestly, I wouldn't have, because what? To then say, you're grown, let it go. You're even more grown, apologize. Not the asshole, not even close to the asshole. If anything, you're an angel for even trying. Oof. Am I the asshole for lying about my virginity to my fiance? Off rip, I'm gonna say yes, but let's actually get into it. Because ooh. You need some holy water. I'm 30, female, getting engaged to my 26-year-old boyfriend of a few years. He has waited until marriage to have sex, and that's something I've been fine with. He's never really made a big deal about it, just something we discussed early in our relationship. The issue is, I'm embarrassed to admit, I lost my virginity to an escort at 21. And then had sex with a few more escorts in my early 20s. During this time, I never had a boyfriend or sex with anyone not an escort. I eventually decided this was gross and vowed not to see another escort. I was internally really ashamed of this and depressed. I'm not gonna lie, you should feel shame. That's not normal. At some point, I started working out and getting out of my depression, and shortly after is when I met my boyfriend. Come on, I don't like to look down on women like that, but that's really gross. And honestly, seriously, you need therapy. And then to lie to him about that too, and knowing he's been saving it for marriage, that's really gross. I mean, I guess we'll keep going though. You're going to hell. But off just that, you're going to hell. So when the topics came up early in our relationship, I told him truthfully that he was my first relationship, but then falsely told him along those lines that I was a virgin. I was head over heels for him, and I just didn't have the courage to reveal my shame history with escorts. You should feel shame. You should feel even more shame for lying. You know how awful that is? It's one thing if somebody has already done it, but he was saving himself for marriage, and now he's probably going to lose his sweet card to somebody who doesn't have theirs. And what if his end goal was to get with someone who's also a virgin? Now you've ruined that for him. No. Fast forward to today, we'll be getting married in 6 months. He still thinks I'm a virgin and doesn't know I had seen escorts in the past. When we do get married and have sex, I feel like it's inherently going to be very significant for him to believe that we have lost our virginity to each other. I mean, with his desire to wait for marriage. He's your future husband. If you can't talk to him about stuff like this, you shouldn't be married. In reality, if I had lost my virginity in a more normal manner and originally told him that, I doubt he would have cared. But now since he's been living with a lie for the past few years, I'm sure it would make it more significant. But I feel like my embarrassing sexual history is something very personal. You're getting married. Is that not very personal? You're literally getting married and you're worried about your past. I hope as we progress through our marriage that the details of our sexual history will have lost their significance and never really come up again. You're the fuck... You are such an asshole to the point where I actually, like, if you are not in hell by the time you die, I will be surprised off just this alone. I mean that like wholeheartedly. You are a terrible person. You're going straight down there. I think lying is one of the worst things you can do as a person, especially if it's about something as serious as that, and especially when you're acting like it's something he doesn't need to know about. You're getting married. If this is too much for him to know, you shouldn't be getting married to him. You should be getting married to somebody that you're comfortable with enough to tell that to. I don't even know what to say. I really don't even know what to say because that's just evil. That is evil. That's all I can say. You're the asshole. Lord, I hope that never happens to me. Next one hopefully will cheer up my mood because that just really pissed me off. Am I the asshole for telling my parents I won't move back in with them because they're ungrateful assholes? Okay, looks like we have a little fun one for this next one. I'm 18 female, my parents' oldest, and I moved out of their house 6 weeks ago because my parents accused me of being lazy and having nothing to help out with and treating them like my servants and making life more difficult. I cooked 4 nights a week. Ooh. Girl, can I be a part of that family, please? Went grocery shopping twice a week, helped my mom meal prep lunches every Sunday, got my siblings to and from school, did the dishes every night, would do my own chores and my siblings' chores when they were being difficult, and I was paying rent after I turned 18. You were doing the absolute most for your parents. Not to be rude, but I don't think I'd be doing all that. I think I would rather be on my own than do all that, not gonna lie. Because at that point, you're already independent. I turned 18 in April and started paying rent then, but my parents expected more out of me and I wasn't finished high school yet. No. I wouldn't know. No. I would rather be homeless. My parents expected more out of me and I wasn't finished high school yet. I tried my best though and I really wanted to help my family. They chose to have you, by the way. If you choose to have kids and then expect your kids to pay rent, you're a horrible parent. And I really don't care the living situation. Do better. Do better. It was when they accused me of doing nothing and taking advantage of them that I was like, what the? We got into a fight and I packed up my stuff and left that night. I stayed at my best friend's house for 3 nights and then I moved in with my grandparents. Okay, props to your best friend though. That's a really good friend. If any of your friends ever let you stay with them for more than like a sleepover night, keep them around forever because there's not a lot of people that will ever allow you to do that. It took 3 weeks for my parents to demand to know when I was coming home and I said never. Then they started saying that I needed to keep helping at home and I asked how could I keep helping them when I did nothing? Okay, that's right. They did tell her that she did nothing when she was doing a lot. That confused me for a minute. I was like, what do you mean you did nothing? You just did everything. And then, yeah. Okay, girl, I like that. They told me I was too young to move out and I reminded them I'm 18. Legally, I could move out without needing them to approve. They reached out a couple more times and I ignored them. Then last week they said that we needed to talk and I asked them what about. They said things at home were rough without me and that I needed to stop behaving like this and help them. I told them I won't ever move back in with them because they're ungrateful a-holes who want me to take over for them and then never appreciate it. I said I did nothing before according to them so they should be fine since clearly they were doing it all before and I said I would keep my lazy ass with my grandma and grandpa. I like that. My parents said I was being a real B-word and parents and kids fight all the time. Am I the asshole? No. Not even close. Not even like there's like a scale to like being rude. You did you did too much. You did too much for them. You weren't even slightly rude. That's like, I mean, not that many were rude, but it was justified in my opinion. In my opinion, honestly, you should have done more. Rudeness-wise, not helping-wise. I don't think you should even been like half of that. Your parents are grown. They need to be enforcing the rules with their other kids. They need to be paying their own rents, not having you pay rents. They need to be doing their own dishes. They need to be doing their own grocery shopping. They need to be making their own meals. If you want to make yourself a meal, sure. But why do you need to be making them meals 4 days a week? I can understand 1 day a week if you want to do something nice for them, but especially them being ungrateful, like, I wouldn't even do the one. Maybe I'm just weird. I wouldn't be doing all that. And your parents are clearly very mean. To be doing all that for mean parents is really crazy. Like, I'm very sorry you got stuck with them, but you're not an asshole. You're going straight to heaven. You're angelic. Angelic. You were angelic. That's all I can say. Okay, y'all, unfortunately, that is going to be it for this video. I really hope y'all enjoyed watching because I really enjoyed making this. If you have any tips for me, please leave it below in the comments as this is my first video, so I don't really know what I'm doing. Don't forget to subscribe and thank you guys so much for watching this video. I love you. Bye.